I have a motion by Zach, second by Dan, to approve the minutes with the corrections that were made. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
I'll just say that I did not vote because I was not here.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please note that Squire Travis did not vote on those minutes. All right, next we have the post-executive minutes that are passed out, that were taken at the end of that meeting. You all have those. Any discussion or changes on those?
Motion to approve. Second.
All right, motion by Zach, seconded by Mike, to approve the post-executive session minutes from 2/2/26 with no changes. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I did not vote.
And Jim did not vote. The motion passes. And let me have your copy, Jim. I'm gonna sign it, send them to the clerk. There's an old copy. There's a copy that I had the screenshot. Here's a copy of the signed post-executive session minutes. All right, now, we have communications from citizens, and we do have a good crowd today, and want to welcome everyone here today. Now, on the agenda a little later, we're going to discuss Tanglewood. Is most of my speakers today wanting to address Tanglewood? Is that a pretty fair assumption? No? Okay. Anyone that was wanting to address Tanglewood, you can speak when we get to the Tanglewood portion. That way we have all of our thoughts at one time. I think that gives the most fairest communication. So now I'll open to anyone in the audience that would like to address the fiscal court for 3 minutes. Yes, sir.
Judge Travis, I'm reminded of a story of a magistrate that went in to see a county judge, and he told the county judge, you know, if I want to know something about planting corn, or growing corn, or harvesting corn, I'll come talk to you. But I don't need you telling me how to build a radio system. Now, what I'm talking about is this group has spent $1,050 to have Bettner come in and tell them what the 911 committee had already been telling them. But you didn't want to listen, and you wasted taxpayer money. Just like your over $85,000 on your animal control building, and that's a conservative estimate from when you bid it out. Just like you spent $2.1 million on a farmer's market for what? $150,000 an acre, $2.1 million, and you didn't even have the sense enough to do your core drilling before you even bought the land, only to get hit with another $300,000 worth of soil amendments because the soil was deficient. Now, why am I telling you all this? Half of this board was running around in their diaper, crapping in their pants when I was out plowing snow over 40 years ago. You guys didn't even have the sense to start using salt. This is your second year at using salt. And yet at the last meeting in executive session, you're bitching about Todd Birch. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. Well, apparently, the magistrates didn't get the emails from the school system. They didn't get the emails from Chesser. I've got them. They're happy with it. Apparently, the magistrates didn't understand that the school system in Spencer County is saying that the rest of the school districts are envious of how our road department took care of our roads. I'm also curious, 3 of you are excavator contractors, and I bet you not a one of you knows the difference between an exothermic and endothermic reaction. You know why I bring that up? Because if you were smart enough to give the man liquid calcium chloride to spike his salt, maybe you wouldn't have had the ice problem that you did when the system came through and split the county in half. That's what you get when you deal with problems for over 40 years. There's a learning curve. Now, you can be smart and take somebody's advice, like Nathan Nation, the fire chief, or Scott Herndon, when they've told you all along the P25 system was the one to take, or you listen to people like Barney that want the ICOM, and it still cost you money. You wasted $1,000 for somebody to tell you what the 911 committee already knew. And the reason they knew it is because they had already gone through this 15 years ago. And you want to turn around and you want to discipline Todd Birch or potentially fire him. I don't know if any of you sitting at this table know how to clear snow. Now, you ride around in your skid loader and tractor, but I'm talking about being effective and getting the job done chemically. Now, nobody's answered the question. Does anyone at this table know the difference between exothermic and endothermic reaction?
4 minutes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the court at this proper time, unrelated to Tanglewood? All right. All right, thank you all for that. Under E, communications from county judge, I just have a few things to bring up about from our last meeting. You remember we voted, we was afraid we were going to have to spend a bunch of money on the elevator. We didn't have to spend a bunch of money on the elevator. There was, I think KU came out and tested the power. There wasn't any surges. And I think we had some breakers that needed replacing. And as of right now, Lynn, we haven't had a problem with the elevator since it warmed up for the last few days, have we? All right, that's good. That's good. I watched one of our citizens the other day and made sure he got in, and it worked good then. So luckily, we didn't have to spend that $10,000 on the elevator. Last meeting, we voted to apply for a community development block grant. I got with KIPTA after that, and we probably cannot get it for parks. Now, we did apply for it, we voted to apply to use it for parks. But that doesn't mean that going forward, we can't do it for something, but they didn't think it would qualify on the parks. Now, that does not mean that we're out of the woods on that land and water conservation grant. And in fact, I know Representative Tipton sent us a letter of recommendation. I reached out to DLG, the governor's office, Senator Higdon about it. So hopefully we'll get a positive back on that and be able to move forward with that. One other thing I want to bring up, the fire department just sent out their annual report, and I know the fire chief wanted me to email it to you guys, and I emailed it. If you didn't get it the other day, I know you should have got it today. But one thing I want to bring up, and I remember bringing this up last year, is how much the fire department helps out the EMS. And in your little pamphlet here shows they had 244 runs out of 680-ish where they did rescues and helped us at EMS. So I'm very thankful for our community working together. I know during the snow, you guys probably saw on Facebook where we got the roads good where an ambulance can get up the road, but then you couldn't get up somebody's driveway. And they have a fancy four-wheeler. I call them ATVs. They call them something else, but real fancy four-wheeler. And could get people out of their house and get them to the ambulance. So we know that saved lives. So, but I just want to bring that up, and I want to tell the community. I'm sure this could be found on the local fire department's website of some sort. If not, email me and I'll send it to you. But it's a good report from the fire department. All right. Does anyone have anything to add to any of those topics? All right, if not, Julie, you're up. I'm already liking these so far. So far.
Okay, so we have one second reading. We got the application. Sorry,
Does anybody know what page we're on?
something jumped on me when I walked in here tonight.
At the bottom, it's page 74,
Okay.
if it's showing up on yours
I got it.
tonight. All right.
Okay, so like I said, we've got one second reading. We have the application of John R. Henry and Kevin M. Henry requesting Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on Tract 3 consisting of 5.01 acres at 5541 Briar Ridge Road. Commissioner Osborne made a motion to recommend to rezone the application of John R. Henry and Kevin M. Henry, requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on Tract 3 consisting of 5.01 acres located at 5541 Briar Ridge Road. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends medium-density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and there was no one there to speak against it. Commissioner Harden seconded that motion. After a roll call vote, motion carried.
Motion to approve the zoning change based on the facts and findings of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Will, seconded by Mike, to approve the zoning recommendation that was just read based on the facts and findings of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
That's all I have.
Anything else, Julie?
That's it. But I will
All right.
comment on the microphone too. I appreciate something that stays here. The other old one, as you would stand, it would start drooping down and you never know where it was gonna land. So, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully it'll work out good for us for many, many years to come. Next in your packet is the county clerk's audit. It's in for information only. We had the sheriffs in last meeting, and we've got the clerks in there this meeting, so, move on from there. We have,
Page 97.
yeah, okay, yeah, I got that looking in. Robert, we're gonna talk about ambulances. All right, go ahead, Med One.
Med One has a oil leak. They believe it may be the same oil leak that Med Two had, so it needs to get over at some point and have that upper oil pan gasket and such replaced.
Now, right now, we're still on the road with it, but we need to get it fixed. If you can see on page 99, I guess we have an estimate of 379509.
There's no 98, it's the Med One, I think.
Yeah, 99 is Med One.
I'm on the wrong sheet, I apologize for that.
Shelby Diesel One,
97?
98.
99 is Med One?
3795.
Yeah. Yeah, on page 99, 3795 and 9 cents.
Yep.
Yeah, that price.
Yeah, it's not over there yet. It's still on the road right now.
Yeah, well, we got, with it, there's 4 on the road, right?
There's 4 on the road right
All
now.
right, good.
Med Two's blowing the seals off the turbocharger. We put a seal back in it, gasket back in it.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah.
So
The
did the
reason I
Med
bring
One
that up is why I have.
go over there and get a quote done, or y'all are just assuming that's where it looks like it's coming from? Or did you take it over?
No, we have not taken over. That's what they.
Assumption.
It's the exact same leak.
So like you've laid under it and looked.
Yeah.
So basically, if y'all would like to go ahead and approve to fix the $3,700 one, we can. And then if you want to approve them both, we could do them both in one motion, or we can take different action on the one that's on page 102.
The second one is Med Two. It's over there right now.
Yeah, it's the one that has a turbocharger, according to them.
It's the one we put new oil pan gaskets in, and then it came back, and we noticed that it was leaking again, so we took it back over there because we felt it was a warranty issue. And I guess after the seals were replaced, it's blown a turbocharger, which is causing blowback, and it's gonna keep blowing the seals until that turbocharger is replaced.
The only thing I'll say is these are pretty hefty estimates to not have more than one place.
That's what I was going to, I mean, surely there's someplace else that works on
Not to say that it would be any cheaper, but
those engines.
generally we're in the habit of getting multiple estimates.
We've been taking stuff to Ford. We can't take anything locally, they're too big, they won't go on lifts. Nobody here will work on them. We've taken them to Ford, we have not had very good luck with O'Brien Ford here in the past few repairs.
Where's O'Brien Ford at?
Shelbyville.
Shelbyville? Have you taken them to a Ford dealer in Louisville? Let them
We've
look
called
at it?
Allstate Ford and they're like 8 months behind. They won't even look at it for the next 8 months. They said we're more than welcome to come sit in their parking lot and they'll get to it.
Well, Brian's who fixed when we were gonna buy a new ambulance, and it only cost $5,000 or $6,000.
I'm sorry?
I said, O'Brien Ford, you said that, but one company said we needed a motor, remember y'all wanted to buy a new
Or actually,
unit, and
That-
Brian
that-
bought it.
that was
fixed
a Chevrolet.
Yeah, that was
Bachman.
that was a Chevrolet, that
But
was
you're right,
Daughtry's.
yeah,
it. I thought it was a-
Yeah,
that was Bachman.
yeah, that was Daughtry's that made the initial estimate on that.
It just, I mean, are we doing any kind of preventive maintenance on these?
We do. I mean,
I mean,
Do
it
we-
seems to me, I mean, just going by experience, we used to run the crap out of our units, and
well, this,
I don't ever remember having any kind of, this kind of,
But these all got the,
having in the shop all the time.
but these all got the emission stuff on them, right?
this one is, this one is a 17 model,
Mhm.
so it's probably in its 9th year of service possibly, with 212,000 miles. One of them has 10,000 hours, which 10,000 hours doesn't,
Med two has 10,000 idle hours
but,
on it.
anyhow,
What kind of engines are these? They come
I
with
think Med
engines or-
one, you just go on to fix it. Med two, I think you should get another. You know, the turbo's not out of that. It's building crankcase pressure, like excessive blow by, like that
Yeah.
marines bad. They're saying a bad turbo can cause that. But, you know,
The only problem with that is they're gonna warranty these seals if they fix the turbo. If we pick that truck up with the turbo, with the seals replaced, it's gonna blow the seals again.
Well,
Well, what
I'd,
I'm
I
saying
agree.
is,
I'm
it's
just
not
saying-
fixing the problem.
I'd warranty $80 worth of seals too if you bought a $3,000 turbo.
well, I mean, when we get it over there, they just estimated the turbo by not looking at it, correct?
Well, they know it has blowback.
Okay. Well, I mean, it seems to make sense, we need to fix this $3,700 one. And then if y'all wanna get more estimates on the other one, we'll have some time to do that.
Well,
I think you
so
got,
here's the problem with that, so if we gotta figure this out, we can prove it or not, but we're trying to keep a habit of having 4 ambulances on the road. If we do that, we're gonna have 2 down at the same time, and we only have 3 on the road.
This is not down yet, is it?
Med one isn't, but what he's saying is going on getting it fixed, and Med two is down, and they can't run. And if you take that down, and set it over for 3 weeks or a week, you get work going.
It's already been over, it's already been over there for 2 weeks,
May not be, but
Med two's been there 2 weeks.
waiting for this meeting.
I think you gotta get Med 2 fixed
that's where I'm at.
and shop out the other.
Now, Med two's
Med 2's the turbo
the
guy,
high
right?
price one, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it's a turbo, or
Maybe
maybe
it's
its rings are bad.
Maybe it needs a rebuild.
Piston rings.
There's, a turbo one's the only thing that causes blowback, but I'm with you on that.
That's what I'm saying, they might put a turbo on it, and then it still has excessive blow-by. You know, I rebuilt engines for 4 years, heavy-duty engines at Cummins, and I've never seen excessive blow-by make oil pan gaskets go out. That's just, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, 4 years.
Usually just goes out the fuel tube. Or did on mine anyway, so I got recent experience in that.
So, yeah, I understand what y'all are saying. It'd be good to not have 2 down and three running, but, you know, we could stage how we fix these.
Well, you said that Med 2 is
It's already there.
right now, right?
Med 2 is one.
Oh, it is there. So this-
It's already dead.
So this is their for sure what it is, what they, according to them.
Well, if you read their notes, they say that we can't guarantee that the turbo will fix it, it's one of the 2, and there's no way for them to separate which one it is. It says it in the bottom of page 101,
One of the 2 being what, the turbo's one, what's the other?
or it needs a rebuild, overhaul,
What kind of
An
warranty
in-frame.
do they give, like on a turbo?
which it won't be an in-frame, because it's set 7.
90 days?
Out there.
Problem. I
Well,
can't
the
think
problem
of
with it is if we put a turbo on it, I mean, the turbo's not gonna be bad, but there's no turn around and say, well, it's not fixed.
What if it happens again?
Yeah, well, then we're gonna be putting a rebuild kit in. That's the problem.
We're probably gonna buy a new long block.
Yeah.
This,
So what's that, 20 grand?
this Med one is a day's work. Or is it? I mean, labor's pretty expensive, so maybe.
On all these new Fords, you gotta pull the,
Pull the transmission.
All right, never mind.
yeah,
So it'd be laid up pretty good.
you gotta pull the cab off too, I'm pretty sure.
All right. What you guys wanna do?
I mean, obviously we need to fix Med two, I just would figure that out, it's just a shooting
in the dark on it, but that's the only thing I don't like their diagnosis, which,
What I think is we go on and approve it, but we do a little bit more diagnostic work once it's over there, and they have approval to fix this, and
Well, they say in here that they can't
they can't
diagnose
find
it no more. It's one of the two. That whole paragraph is what it's talking about. I read it last night.
I just find it hard, turbos going out 212,000 miles.
Well, you see them going at 50, they just.
Sounds like we need to go on and get Med 2 fixed, get it back in the fleet, then fix the other one, so they're not both down at the same time.
I mean, I think it's what we're gonna have to do. I just don't like being bent over the barrel with some shoddy diagnostics.
Well, I'm sure, I'm sure they give their best opinion here.
Well,
They gave a detailed quote.
I'll make a motion that we approve to get the turbocharger fixed on Med 2 for $5,408.68. Does
It does, needs to be not on there, be 510253.
Yeah, 510253, my bad. Let's fix that.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Zach, second by Will, to go ahead and fix Med 2 at Shelby Diesel, for a cost, not to,
Give them my number and have them call me before they start working on this.
510253. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll wait on the other one.
Well, I mean, we can go on, let's go on and, if y'all are good with it, we can go on and approve it, or do you wanna farm it out? Try to bid it out for 'em. I mean, if not, we're gonna be waiting 2 more weeks, and if they get this thing done and get it fixed, then they can get over there and get it fixed, and that's the whole deal there.
Whatever y'all wanna do.
new equipment, yeah.
I mean, when it comes to an ambulance, yeah, I just didn't have it approved and took care of and gone. So, we've had trouble out O'Brien Ford, and local shops can't fix and work on them, so. And we've been sending stuff down there to these guys.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion by Mike, seconded by Zach, to approve the 379509 at Shelby Diesel to repair, which med is that? One? Med 1. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Next is on page 105, numbers at the bottom, about our alarm system.
That is the county alert system that we only signed a 1-year contract with. It's up for renewal. We did recently, here in the last 3 or 4 months, we do have our federal certifications. Now we can send our iPOS messages through that. So we can select geographic areas and force send those to cell phones, kind of like Amber Alerts and stuff like that.
Is this price the same as last year, is this one up, same price?
I think it's the same price.
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion by Jim, seconded by Dan, to approve the Inspirion Logistics 4990 for a 1-year contract on the alert service. Any discussion?
Are you happy with this service, or
I
are you
think
looking
it's
to
great.
change?
I think it's good.
Okay.
It's been a lot better than the other system we had.
Thankfully, knock on wood, but everyone in the audience, have you all gotten our alarms, alerts on your phones, like last year during bad weather? Did y'all get that? Y'all remember getting that? All right, well. Got it on your email? Okay. Well, what Robert's just describing, you can send out to, and maybe then you couldn't, but like one particular area, everyone that's in that particular area, he can send a warning to that area. So hopefully this spring, as we get into the bad weather like we did last spring, we'll be in a little better shape as far as getting that out. We've been working on perfecting this for 3 years, and first year I was optimistic. It's getting louder. I was optimistic about it, and it wasn't satisfactory. And but we're getting closer to getting it perfected. So anyway, any other discussion on this?
Isn't that, do they still have to download that to get those alerts?
The iPaws alerts, no. It will literally force send it to cell phones, like,
If you have an Android, you have to download?
no.
No?
It's like if you get an Amber Alert.
Okay.
It'll go out the same way. It force sends it to all those cell phones that are geographically
Within
around
that
that cell
area.
phone tower, yeah.
But there is an app with it that we gotta, for like,
Yeah, we do have an
full
app.
water advisory,
Yeah,
or if there's a wreck local, or stuff like that.
Now, we are having some bad weather this week, they say, so.
if you just go to the
Try it out.
Spencer County Emergency Management page, all the information to sign up is on there.
Yeah, what he said, the community, if they didn't hear, you can go to the Spencer County Emergency Management page, and all the information is there, or let Robert and him know over at EMS, or call my office. So, all right. That seemed to get a little loud a minute ago. All right, we'll go ahead and vote on this. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, on page 106, we have a request from the clerk about giving the poll workers a $1 raise. I don't feel that this is out of line at all. They do put in a lot of hard hours. 12-hour shifts, pretty long day.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Mike, seconded by Jim, to approve the poll workers' pay from 17 to 18 an hour, effective for the May primary election, and then on. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We have the sanitation board minutes in here, just for your information. Now, that worked pretty quick. Now on our agenda is Tanglewood. Ms. Klotz asked to get on the agenda, and the floor is yours.
You don't need my name for the minutes,
Please,
or-
yes.
Dan
Clerk does.
Mahalik, it's M-I-C-H-A-L-A-K. Cheryl's gonna lay out everything. I, first of all, appreciate y'all's time to get Cheryl on y'all's agenda, really appreciate it. She's gonna lay everything out, she's got all the details. I just wanted to really quick just kind of say something about the residents and everything back here. I wasn't born in Spencer County, but this is my home. I've been here for over 30 years, and just love the community. And back on where we live, Ray and Kim Foster live up there, and Mike and Andy Suki are back there. And I always like to joke that they kind of raised me, but I was involved in the golf course years ago. And when we were here, Mike and Ray and myself ran the golf course for years. Brought tens of thousands of dollars into the community. But I think probably did lots of work with local charities. I know a lot of you all from events that we had up there through the years too. And I just found out this is Rambo's son over here that put a big smile on my face. I knew him when he was this big. And with that said, that's one of the best things about up there is just the community and being in position and the opportunity to employ the employment of the families and all the help we've done, like I said, with the charities and thing. And also the youth that came on through there and watching them kind of grow up and now having their own kids that are amazing members of our own community too. And I only kind of say that to let you know who lives back there. I've been there for 30 years. My wife decided to move back there with us when we got married. And I'm the newbie back in that community. So we've all been here for 30, 40 years in this community, and we love it. And I just want to let you know we're not passive members. We very actively, Kim single-handedly started the swim program back there. Annie taught, and Mike's wife Annie taught in the school system doing speech therapy for 20 years. My wife's involved with what's the group is it? The Humane Society now, and I know there's different ones and different names, and it can get kind of touchy. But I just wanted to let y'all know, I mean, we're not passive members. We're not looking for a handout. It seems to me it's kind of pretty clear that the county had intended to take that road over. At least this to me, I know I'm biased. But we're not asking, like I said, for a handout. We're just asking to kind of do what's kind of right and help us out. Like I said, we're not looking for a handout. We're just looking for your all's consideration to look over the details as Cheryl lays them out. But thank you all for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Good morning. Or good afternoon. My name's Kim Foster. I've lived in this community for 30 years. Old roots. Owen and Sadie Goodwin were my grandparents. My mother was Sheila Goodwin. We make this our home now. My daughter graduated from Spencer County, and we would love any support you all can give us on the road. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Cheryl Klotz, and I'm here to speak on behalf of all the residents of off Tanglewood Drive. And I have some documents here. Would you like me to hand them to the clerk for records?
You can, and we can, do you have copies for all of us?
I don't,
Okay,
but I'll tell you, I'll give you a brief overview
okay, go ahead.
of what I'm handing to.
I would actually like to see those if we could get copies of them.
Could we pass them around and then give them back to her?
Sure.
Would you be
Would you
okay?
like me to go ahead and tell you about what's going to be in them, what you're looking at?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to speak in two parts. The first part is going to show that Tanglewood Drive, that the court actually intended in that time to take over the road when it was completed. They fully intended to adopt the road. And then second, I'm going to give some examples of other roads that I feel are in similar situations but have previously been adopted by the county. So Tanglewood Drive serves both residences and businesses. There's probably the most popular restaurant in the county off Tanglewood Drive. There's a motel. There's, I think, 60 apartment units and 9 single-family homes. The school bus drives back it every day, drops off a good number of kids. It's approximately 1 mile long. A little history. The entire development received final plat approval in 1984. I think this was probably one of the first roads that ever had a road bond. Before that time, I think they just accepted any road. And then they decided, well, we need some standards before we start accepting all these roads. Or it just had to be rocked and graded, and then the county would accept the road into the system. So the bond was similar to insurance. The bond would dictate what standard the road needed to be built to, and then the county would agree to take it over if it were completed. And if the developer did not complete the road, the bond was kind of like insurance, so the county agreed that they would take it over and complete the road. And the Planning and Zoning Commission had the responsibility of setting the amount for the bond. A bond of $50,000 was approved by Planning and Zoning in November of 1984. And I've given you a copy of the minutes of that, and I also gave you a copy of the actual bond. So when a county accepts the bond, it means they intend to adopt the road. The bond that I have shown says that roads shall be 2 inches thick and 12 feet wide. Now that's different than the standards of today. And remember, this is one of the first bonds, but that's what the bond stated. Now there's some disagreement whether this bond was for the entire road or only for the part from the apartments back to the end. But then I have a document that shows that in 1986, Planning and Zoning had said that the top part of the road had been paved and inspected. Now that's really short, so I'm going to read that, and that's in the copies that I'm giving to the clerk. It's dated January 7th, 1986, to whom it may concern. This is to verify in writing that the entrance road to Settlers Trace Resort, that's what it was called at the time, and subdivision has been surfaced with a 2-inch layer of compacted asphalt binder. The road width was 16 foot wide and 1,245 foot in length, with a 24-foot flare at the intersection with 44 East. This has been inspected by the County Zoning and Planning Commission. Sincerely, Darrell Stevens, and he was Spencer County Zoning and Planning Commissioner at the time. So that, to me, shows that the top part of the road should have been adopted and taken over in 1986. At some point, the developer of this subdivision went bankrupt, and the property was sold at the commissioner's sale in 1989. So in 1991, fiscal court assigned the then county attorney, Robert Coots, to take over the bond and to collect the bond and to make sure the road was paved, to countersign checks and other documents related to the bond. So when the county attorney facilitated the bond collection, it shows that the county fully intended to take responsibility for the road at that time. In 1992, Coots explained the bond settlement to fiscal court, and I do have a copy of that fiscal court page in the copies that that are going around. In 1993, the bond was used to pave to about 855 Tanglewood Drive, and the resident there was promised that the rest of the road would be paved and completed when other houses were built. But only one other house was built past her. I have a copy in the evidence of the bill from Kentucky Paving Company, where they did indeed pave the road, and the bill was sent to Coots since he was then in charge. He's the county attorney. So you can see that the development and the roads were approved by the court. The road was bonded, the bond was collected by the county, and the road was paved. But unfortunately, there was no one there to say, okay, we've done it all. Now adopt the road, please. So some people will say, well, yeah, that's all true, but it's gone through the proper channels, but the road's in terrible shape now, so we can't take it over because it's not up to the current standards. So I'm going to talk about some other roads that have been adopted either before completion or that were in subpar condition when they were adopted. Now keep in mind that Tanglewood appeared to be in good condition shortly after it was paved in the early 90s, which is when it should have been taken over by the county. Now I don't have legible copies of the following adoption statements, but I do have dates for that, so you could look it up on your own. So the Camp Branch subdivision, in 2010, Charles Tishner was representing People's Bank, and he argued before the court that the road bond had been paid, and now the roads in Camp Branch should be completed by the county. The county attorney at that time, Ruth Holland's legal opinion, was that fiscal court was contractually obligated to pave the roads once the bond was called. And that road was indeed adopted on November 17th, 2014. Then we have the Pilot's Way subdivision. And I don't really know the condition of the road when it was adopted. I know it was bonded, but a couple years later we found out that the road was deficient. So 3 years after its adoption, it needed over $100,000 in repairs. And that's referenced by fiscal court minutes of May 6, 2019. Then we have the Elk Chase subdivision. They also surrendered their bond. It was adopted in July 1st, 2019. That document stated, quote, "Whereas Spencer County Fiscal Court agrees to complete the roads to current specifications," not that the roads were to current specifications, but that the county would complete them to current specifications. And then it goes on, so that's the end of the quote. And when I saw that in the newspaper, I was surprised. I thought, Elk Chase, that road's in terrible shape. So just a few days later, I went to visit Elk Chase to see if maybe they fixed the road before it was adopted. And it kind of looked like Tanglewood Drive does now. And yet they adopted it anyway. In September 4th of 2019, the streets in Walnut Grove were adopted. The adoption statement from fiscal court states, quote, "The subdivision has not completed the construction of the development roads, and whereas the residents have long awaited the roads in this development to be completed and maintained by the county road department as originally intended," unquote. And of course, they had a road bond that was relinquished, much like Tanglewood does, and the county adopted that road as well. So in conclusion, I've shown that the county fully intended to take over the road when they approved it. I've shown that had the county taken it over at that time, it probably would not be in the condition it is today. It's just been a long time and hasn't had the upkeep that it needs. I've shown that the county has taken over roads prior to and as recent as 2019 that were either incomplete or not up to current standards. Therefore, I'm asking the court to fulfill its obligation to the residents of Tanglewood Drive and take over maintenance and upkeep of the road. I'm asking that the road be made safe for even a two-wheel drive vehicle. I'm asking that it be plowed in the winter, maintained in the summer, and improved in any way that the court feels is comparable, fair, and equitable as to the treatment of other roads that I've talked about. So thank you for listening. Does anyone have any comments or questions?
I do, but anyone else have? Well, I'll start. I rode up there tonight, looked at it, went to the gas station, got me a couple corn dogs, for supper. But, yeah, that road is terrible. It's very bad. But a few things that I noticed, and then I came over and looked at my maps. Now, the city, I believe, annexed the restaurant and the hotel.
They did.
And according to my map, they have the road off of the 4-lane in amongst what they've annexed. So have you approached the city about that?
Well, I remember when that happened, and I'm pretty sure that the city said, hey, yeah, we're going to annex these properties, but we're not taking over the road.
Okay. Mike, you didn't?
That's what I was gonna say. I was told at that time, John lives up in that little house. He said that the city agreed to annex the property, but they weren't gonna take responsibility for the road at that time. So
Yeah.
that doesn't give the county any relief.
Because I believe the restaurant and the hotel are on city sewers, is that correct? To your
Correct.
knowledge?
The hotel is not on city sewers, that is still on Tanglewood. The
Okay.
restaurant is on the city sewers.
So just by looking at what the city has annexed, I know there's discussion about the road. But then when you go past where you turn into the apartments, y'all there's a sign on the tree there today that says private road, dead ends.
Well, sometimes people put up signs even though they don't have authority to do so.
Yeah.
And somebody did put up a sign,
Yeah.
even though.
But I continued on and went all the way to the end, and I'm guessing that in 1992, where the blacktop ends,
Mhm.
that's where it ended in 92, and then the last house, which, the last house I know has someone there, the
Right.
car was there.
Yes,
The next to the last house, I didn't
Mhm.
see a car, but there was a puppy looking out the window.
yeah, yes.
So I'm assuming someone lived there. But,
Yes,
but
And so
You know,
that's
this
the,
is what I observed tonight.
right, and the one with the puppy is the one, when she moved in, they paved the road to her house. And her builder said, yeah, we're gonna finish the road when somebody builds down there.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you wanting it repaved and repaired from 248 all the way back?
I'm asking for that. But anything that the court feels is fair and equitable when we're looking at the other roads and what's been done to them.
I haven't looked at the deeds, maybe I have, but I've forgotten, but nonetheless, the road that goes to the apartments, when it leaves Tanglewood, is that where the property begins of the apartments? You know,
Well,
there's probably 100 feet, maybe a little more, but before you turn in to go to the apartments, to the apartment parking.
right, so, and Mike might know, okay.
The property where the original Tanglewood sign is, and where you turn into Tanglewood Court, that was actually lot number 1 at one time when it was developed. So lot number 1 is basically where those roads turn in, go back into, Tanglewood Golf Course. And then when you get up to the condominiums or the apartments now, that's lot number 2 kind of starts there, so that road is on lot number 2. It goes back to the apartments.
I guess my question is the owner of the apartments the person that owns lot 1?
Yes.
So they own from the road that's straight
They own,
and the buildings?
they own Tanglewood Court, and they now own the driveway, the parking lot area, and the driveway into the apartments.
And even though the apartment's address is Tanglewood Court, their access is actually not off of Tanglewood Court. Their driveway is off of Tanglewood Drive. And I am not really even talking about Tanglewood Court right now.
Well, I'm trying to get us a good understanding of all the parties at play.
Right.
Those two roads have nothing to do with the original Tanglewood Court, bond and subdivision bond. The bond was actually put up for the subdivision, which is in the back. So
Yeah.
if you leave, when you saw that sign on that tree, that's about where Tanglewood Drive for the subdivision started. And that's actually where the bond was put up. It wasn't originally put up for the front section. It was actually put up for all the roads that go down to the river. We're not asking for that.
Yeah.
Julie, do you ever remember, she had that letter, that is loud, I'm sorry. Do you ever, I don't have it with me, but you read it off, but planning and zoning ever actually inspecting roads, or what did you take of that letter? Because I don't ever remember it other than our road supervisor and engineer inspecting roads. You got any input on that, or? I mean, I know
Really,
that's-
I mean, when that was all going on, I was in grade school, so, you know, but the first, I remember when I started working here, Howard Sturgis was the one that inspected roads, and the magistrates would typically go out in their district with him to inspect, you know, the roads.
What was Howard's title?
When he was an engineer that they had helping him, but he was a resident of the county as well. But I don't know of a planning commissioner going out inspecting roads since I've been here. I'm not gonna say they never did, it's just since I've been here. I'm not aware of it.
And that part of the road is actually wider and comparably in better shape than the rest of the road. So I feel like they probably worked on that part of the road and said, okay, now this part's finished, but it was never taken over.
How far is it from 248 back to where the sign is that says Tanglewood, or where the bond is supposed to take effect? Is it the top of the hill, kind of right top of the hill there?
Yeah, it's about the top of the hill. So Tanglewood goes down and makes an L, basically, and the house at the corner of the L, I think, is 557 or something like that.
So would you be in favor of the county taking it over from that point where that sign is on back?
I would be in favor of that. I don't know if that, I'm not a lawyer.
If you're talking about the sign that's back there by the condominiums, that's halfway back the road. So taking it over from there back, that doesn't do anything for the first part of the road.
And I'm glad we're having this discussion. We're not ready to make any decisions tonight. We're trying to fact find.
Okay.
Now, I hope y'all will appreciate that. And we'll be leaning on our county attorney to advise us when we make decisions
Right.
going forward. But I appreciate you all stepping out, coming to us. The front part of the road is in way better shape
It is.
than the back.
It is.
I'm guessing it has been blacktopped or repaired since these others.
I don't know the timing on that, and quite frankly, I don't know if the bond was used for that part of the road or just the back. I don't know.
In 2015, that first section of the road going back to the apartments was in excellent condition. It has deteriorated since then. If something isn't done, it's gonna look like the back section, and then you're gonna have more problems with the school buses back there, ambulances back there. And so those people that live in those apartments back there are not gonna be served by the county like it should be.
Do the garbage trucks run all the way back to the back, or they stop at the front?
It does, and I've tried to stop the garbage truck from going all the way back because it was tearing up the road, and they said, well, you don't have any authority to do that, so.
The letter that is from 1986, where it says it was paid 2 inches thick, 1,245 feet. Is that your understanding that that was from 248 and then 1,245 feet back?
Right,
Okay.
so about to where the apartments are. No, I think that's to about where the apartments are, the front part of the road. So it looks like somebody from planning, planning and
Darryl
zoning.
Stevens.
Yeah, Darryl
Planning and
Stevens
zoning.
looked at it and said, okay, this part of the road is finished.
What's the total length from 248 all the way back to the very end?
To the end of where there's a house.
Yes.
Is approximately 1 mile.
I mean, feet-wise, 5,280 feet, and we're talking about 1,245 feet. That's what you're talking about?
Okay, hold on,
With the
hold on.
bond
I
coverage.
may have
That's why I didn't
misspoken.
get
So
the
you were
mile,
asking,
this is
okay, you were
1,245
asking
feet.
about the note, let me see.
What
Yeah,
part
so-
of- what part
so-
of- What part of the road do you think the bond covered when it was paid?
Well,
Well, he said the very back of it was
I
his
think the bond
understanding.
covered the subdivision when it was developed back there, and that starts from the condominium back.
right, that's what we think the bond
That's
covered.
when the bond was originated, and that's what it refers to.
Now, this
So when that
note,
bond
and
was
and I may have
passed-
misspoken. So this letter that I read, that is from, my understanding, that's from the highway to the apartments,
Which the bond wasn't for.
which we do not believe the bond was for. Now, keep in mind, this is one of the first bonds. It may have even
Yeah.
been the first bond. So the county was just trying to protect itself because I believe before then, it's like, okay, you have a road, we're gonna adopt it. You have a road, we're going to adopt it. And there was really no standard.
Because the bond was cashed in 91 or 92. This is 5 years prior to that.
Right,
This
so
letter.
they initiated, yeah, right.
So in your opinion, when that bond was cashed in, somebody did work to the road, correct?
Excuse me?
When that bond was cashed in 1991 or whatever year,
Mhm.
did someone do work to the road?
Yeah, somebody,
Do you know which
so
section of
the
the road that
county,
was?
well, I don't know what section. I don't know if they started at the top and went all the way down to where it stops now, or if they started at the apartments and went with the bond money. I don't know if I answered your question.
That road was in darn good shape. I mean, for the last 10 years, I would say, where it's just, there's, we do what we can out there. And I think I saw you out there, Scott, and I think I waved at you when you were driving by.
Oh, today?
Yeah, I was walking my cat.
Yeah, I saw a guy,
I was looking for another.
I saw a
cat,
guy
but I had
walking.
cat out there with me.
yeah.
But that road, it was in good shape. It was in better shape than the front of the road is now. But it's just, there's no, I mean, there's only certain things that residents can do. Do what they can to make it safe for mainly the mailbox delivery, and like Cheryl said, we tried to
didn't
stop
do it.
The garbage
the
truck.
garbage truck. Everyone out on that road except for one who do take care of our own trash, just to try to segregate that one, it just never worked out that way. We've done everything we can. I never heard about Orphan Road in my life until about 5 or 6 years ago when all this started coming on. I had no idea. I remember going into work one day and said, hey, I own a road, I didn't know it. We didn't know, we had no idea. We're just taking care of something because no one else would.
Two ladies in the back, and there's that snowstorm. I mean, they couldn't get out.
Right, they couldn't. And I remember one of them was telling me about in the past how she actually had a problem back there and with water, she couldn't get, and she couldn't get anyone back there.
Of course, that bond, according to this, was put into effect the 15th day of November 1984. And then they moved to cash it in 1991.
Right, so as you probably know, when a developer takes out a bond now, they're kind of saying, well, I'm going to finish the road, but this is my guarantee. It's like insurance. If I don't finish the road, then the insurance or bond company is going to pay for it. And so they will finish the road. So it's kind of insurance for the county that a road would be put up to a certain standard. Of course, this was one of the first bonds, so maybe they didn't really know what a proper standard should be.
I think for myself, Scott said we're obviously not gonna make any decisions tonight, but just speaking for me, if you could send us all the information you have. Some of these people that are mentioned in this are still around. I would like to do my due diligence and talk to them. And, you gave the examples, and me, I would love to help you guys, if we can. I think everybody here would like to help you guys, if we can. But, no example that you gave is from 1986. It's pretty tricky.
Well, so,
But, if you could send this to us,
okay, so
for me, where I could review it.
you want a copy of that?
I do. 'Cause
Is that
just
what you're
looking through
asking for?
this, in the middle of the meeting is hard.
Right, right.
To actually.
Right,
I
and,
know you read
and
some
of course,
parts,
that's
but-
just to say, there is documentation
Yeah.
for what I've already told you.
I'd just like to review it, I
Sure.
actually have time to study it,
Can we get so maybe we can get a copy of that too? I can get a copy.
whatever you have, I think
If,
would be great.
if I get it, or I'll scan it in and email it to all of them
All right,
tomorrow.
that'll be lovely. Thank you, thank you.
I'll send it back to Matt.
Okay.
And then I don't have a copy of the adoption documents that I was giving in my examples of other roads. I tried to make a copy and it just wasn't very clear.
Yeah.
But the dates are
Yeah,
here.
well, I wrote them all down. I mean, we can
Right.
research the minutes and
Right.
find.
And Julie can help you,
find these dates.
she can tell you what the adoptions are.
All right,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Ms. Klotz.
All right.
Anyone else here to, speak on this topic?
One last question, how will I know, how will I get feedback on this?
Just keep contacting my office.
Put yourself on the agenda next meeting.
I'd like to get it tonight, but.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, there's no bones about it. We have been in communication, and, as you should as a citizen, when there's an issue, you need to come to your representatives, which are us,
Right.
to address, issues. And, we've had communications, and we'll be working on it, and then summer will come, and we'll get busy, and
Right.
then I don't see you for a while, and then I'll run into you all
Right.
somewhere, and so forth, but nonetheless,
Is
just
the widest
keep
part of that
visiting.
road right now 16 feet?
The widest part,
The actual road, not entrances the majority of the road 16 feet in width?
the top, do you know the answer to that? I think the top part is wider than that.
Section of it is back to the apartments.
It's 16 feet.
Yeah, it narrows down, going back to the section.
Well, that's some of the things that we need to take into consideration. Is it 12 or 16 feet wide? And our regulations say 20. So do we bring
Right,
it
well,
up
the new-
to our regulations, which is going to be very costly?
Well,
But the house is already there, it'd be hard to
They ain't
do,
gonna fix
and
the
pave
road.
over
We'd
their
have to tear it
driveway.
now I've seen other county roads, that are 12-foot wide that have been here forever, and they're county maintained and such, and they've not been brought up to current standards,
Right.
but they were brought up to the standards that were set forth at that time, and apparently the standard that was set forth at that time was 12 foot,
Then
and then they were maintained.
we need to look at safety issue, like you said.
Right.
You know, is 12 or 16 feet wide enough? No. So that is a
Well-
safety issue when two people are passing. And then if we go up there and make it 16 feet wide, and our regulations say 20,
Mhm.
then you see, then we could be liable if something happened, because it's not because it's a safety issue, so.
I think we already have a safety issue like that.
We definitely have a safety
I'd like
issue
y'all
now.
to drive back there, it's,
I've driven back there.
I just got a
of course, there's a
front
sign that says it's private, but.
Yeah,
I
but you
went
can
on.
ignore that, you know, you
It
got
looks
some
like
neighbors
it's,
and.
Well, I'd just like to say,
had a couple
I
bomb
appreciate
breakers
your
in there.
due diligence here,
Thank
and, speaking for myself, I'm optimistic that
Okay, well, good,
we're gonna look at all this, and hopefully we can provide
yeah.
relief of some kind. I would tend to think that, obviously, all this verbiage was agreed upon and signed off on back in the day,
Right.
some of it before I was born,
And a lot of those, it was probably one of the first bonds, so I'm not sure that fiscal court at that time really knew
But to-
what they
Well, I mean,
should
I think
put in writing.
that's what it
I would-
looks like to me, is that it was maybe a new process, and somebody kind of dropped the ball, and, the road never got adopted, because if they cashed the bond and the county
Mhm.
attorney gave out the money to have it repaved and everything, then it sounds to me like the intent was
well,
Right.
I
the
think,
county was gonna take over that portion of the road.
I think it was just, like you said, maybe a new process and things got overlooked, but I mean, a lot of this stuff was agreed upon before we made addendums to what our new standards are.
Right.
So I'll be optimistic that even at a bare minimum, we could maintain the pre-existing width.
Right,
And, just the question is for the length, and I know we're gonna have to have conversations with the city, we're gonna have to get advised by
mhm,
our council of what the appropriate steps is as he combs through this here, and, just stay in touch with us, but it's not gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be a short process, it's gonna be multiple weeks, but we wanna make sure that we do our due diligence to make sure
right.
we're doing right by you guys and doing right by ourselves and getting all parties involved that need to be.
Hopefully, we can get it right before the next 40 years.
Really, really. And I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know all the ins and outs. You know, I'm just a private citizen, and this is just the research that I've found, and so.
All right, well, thank you, Ms.
But thank you
Cox.
all for listening.
And thanks to
We need that
everyone
scanned into the
speaking.
record, don't we?
What's that?
We need that scanned into the record, correct?
Well, he's gonna take care of it and get,
Well, I'll scan it in and send it to you guys, and I'll send it to Corey, and then we'll go from there.
Where are we going?
So, all right, next on the agenda, on page 110 at the bottom, we have a vacancy on the fire board. And, I was sent a letter to, they've accepted the Darrell Stevens resignation. And, the fire board has voted unanimously. They'd like to request that we would appoint Mr. Mark Jeffries, to the fire board. So I have this on the agenda now, and I entertain a motion.
So moved.
second,
Have a motion by Zach, seconded by Mike, to approve, Mark Jeffries for the, fire board, and that'll fulfill the remaining of Darrell Stevens, which will end, June 30th of 2028. All right, any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, next, page 111. We did receive the full loan that we did a bond with KCO in the amount of $1 million. And I checked, of course, the bank's not open today, but we can get a rate of, I want to say, 375. And if it's a full amount, it could be a little more. We could put it in a CD at the People's Bank for that amount. German American offer was a little less than that. And,
You said 375.
yeah, it may be 15 points above that. And then I asked, but I wasn't talking to the person at the top, but But anyhow, I know we could at least get that, and then I know if you have, you know, if you did the whole million, you may even get a little more than that. And then it'll be in different, you know, it'll be in different, months. It's not gonna be something long-term, because market's pretty short. And, you know, keep in mind, you know, the amount we're paying on this is $3.95? Is that what
I think that's
y'all
right.
remember? So it's pretty much gonna be a wash to have it available for us. But, I wanted to tell you all and get your approval for us to invest in a CD at the People's Bank with, and y'all tell me the amount of money, but we're probably gonna need some of this to finish our project out there this year for sure. I doubt that we're gonna need, any before probably July, I would think. But, if y'all are okay to give myself and the acting treasurer authority, we'll come up with an amount.
I'll make that motion to give you the authority to invest that into a CD, the full amount.
Second.
To the full amount?
Yep.
Okay. All right, motion by Jim, seconded by Zach, to give, myself and the treasurer the authority to invest, a portion up to the full $1 million of this, loan that we got for the KCO loan, in a CD.
How long of a CD are you thinking?
It'll be probably, I think, like 91 days is the best rate, and then if you go beyond that, it drops a little bit, so it'll be short windows.
Well, I know that we was talking about maybe some other potential projects, you know, things, so I didn't want to tie it up for,
Right.
I think 91 days is appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, here it is, March, so you got March, April, May, so 1st of June.
Right.
It'd be maturing, we'd be able to get some of it. So, okay, any other discussion on that? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all for that. We have, I talked to, Dakota at the road department. You know, I think we've made a very popular move in the last 3 years of putting shoulders on our roads, with the gravel. I think it's made, tremendous advances in our safety, and you can pass people now. Y'all know when you wash all the salt off your vehicle, like you probably have in the last week or two, and then when you're on one of these roads without a good shoulder, you just lost your wash job. I lost my wash job up on Tanglewood today, when we had to pass. Now that's, but nonetheless, so I asked Dakota about, getting some way for, on our 550s, and that's what this is an estimate for, a way that when you dump the bed up, that it'll move the gravel over and drop it off the side, whereas we've been dumping it in the road and then scraping it over. Now, you all don't have to decide on this tonight, but I just wanted to present that to you all, and let's discuss if you think that's a good option or not.
I think it's a very good idea.
So I assume is this, belt off the back of it and an electric motor?
Hydraulic
Yeah, belt, yeah, definitely
High-tension
belt.
is the way I was explained.
Well, so are them trucks plumbed in the rear?
Most
all
of them,
Yeah,
most of them.
I think it is a hydraulic motor.
Is the controllers we got, I guess, the word?
That I don't know.
But,
I think it's a good idea. I'd like to see a few pictures of this piece of equipment just to see how it's designed,
yeah,
and built, but,
we
I
can,
mean, it's an investment, but you'll save a lot of money compared to
Save a lot of
dumping it on
money.
and pushing off skid loader, you know, 3 guys out there, 1 guy can go do it. And you got 2 other guys freed up to do something else.
so,
Lord knows we got plenty to do.
but we, you know, you all can decide tonight, or we can decide to do some more research on it, and, you know, we meet every other week, so it's up to you guys.
Well,
That's
spring's
what I'm
coming
bringing
on,
for you.
so if something,
I'd
we're
like to
getting
see
serious.
some pictures and details for the next meeting, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I'm not saying we purchased it, but I was just saying if we wanted to,
It's showing a
wanted to,
4-week lead time.
either that or see if we can get a demo model out, stuff like that. Look at the whole thing, put eyes on it.
All right, well, I'd go that route. We don't have to vote on it tonight, but I just want to bring it to your attention. Well, that brings us down to, we have on our agenda the invoices, bills, and transfers. Anyone have any questions about those?
Motion to pay the bills and make the transfers.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Zach, seconded by Jim to, pay the bills and make the transfers. Any discussion on those? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Let's take a short recess right now. I know it's 8:15, but let's take a short recess. We will be going into executive session here fairly soon, but, let's
Well,
take-
do you wanna go into executive session and let everybody get out of here and then take a
well,
recess?
Not just right now, but
All right.
that's all right. Let's take a real short recess and then we'll return. And everyone is welcome to stay or you're welcome to go. So, thank you all.
So guys, various volume knobs on the back of these microphones.
Is it?
And I would recommend that, like, you just back them off.
Turn them down?
Turn them down about 25%.
How about that? That better?
Yeah, they were all on max.
Yeah.
And just back it off about 25%, about a quarter turn. Yeah, you want it about 75% of the way. And then,
I can't tell mine, can you?
so we're gonna have.
What does mine sound like? Can you hear it? I can't
Yeah.
hear it.
Well, the thing is, so I'm gonna try to get everybody on the same playing field and back the initial gain down a little bit and then try to work with this.
Yeah.
But, so we're gonna be fighting a little bit of feedback here. We're not gonna have the popping, but I would suggest to turn them down as low as you can, but keep it as close to as you can to your face, and I think that's gonna be the best outcome.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm not gonna do that.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna, anytime I'm, and the main thing is too, is like, Zach's is not pointed, like, it needs to be pointed to like where your mouth is gonna be. Yeah, there you go. Cause, I mean, I got mine turned down 25% and it's pretty loud, so.
We're gonna put it on the wall, top the exit.
Yeah, they jump roads all the time.
It's supposed to be contingent. If they do it, they know they can get away with it. Maybe because nobody ever followed the law, that's what I'm saying. I almost bet when you research it, it's gonna show the property in there, but the city, but that's still Shepherdsville, all the warehouses, they have annexed along the sides of I-65, all the way down to get those warehouses. That's what, the state passed that law last year, so that's what they passed law, held them back for, like, big city of territory go up 155, annex 155. That way, they, okay, and then they use a corridor, so the states and counties, you don't do it anymore.
I think you have a problem there because the road bond is not very bad. Road bond was passed in the it's now it's 30 years ago, but how do you take the whole road when the bond was just for the back?
That's what I was asking, how far are you talking about?
I know, but the bond was then originally ever at the beginning part of the road, so like legally wise, I'm not saying it's opinion, but legally wise, how do you take that whole road? That whole road, the whole entire road is completely ripped out.
Yeah, if you wanna do it right. If you wanna bring it up to their standard.
Well,
Even if it don't, you
but
can
we
go
don't
over
have
that thing.
an existing road, Jim.
It'll be the same way until you
We'll be blacktopping it all the time, passing home.
Yep.
An existing road though, you don't have to blacktop a 22-foot line. 20-foot line.
It's not an existing road in our county road system, though.
Yeah.
It's not an existing county road in our road system.
But you'd be blacktopping over the top of the driveways.
I tell you, my road goes back to my subdivision. We put that in 1997. It's still in better shape than most of the subdivision roads. The way it was put in, not enough put it in. It was put in. Schultz Lane didn't last no time. This one didn't last.
Yeah.
Way they
Well,
were.
it's hard for me to believe in 1986 too, that said we were accepting 2 inches of asphalt. I'm not saying that it wasn't like that, but that just,
Well, it looks to me like we're gonna have to bite the bullet and do it. Part of it anyway, talking about on that road.
I don't know legally how you can when that bond is put back of it.
I think that may be the deal is, okay, we'll take it from that sign.
We need to not be caught there.
Alright.
So, we'll go ahead and be getting started. But before you leave, I know we had a visitor last meeting, we got a visitor tonight. I wanna recognize Mr. Ben Mudd. He joined us tonight. He's seeking office of state senator in our district, so we welcome, glad to have you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it, all right.
You have a card with your
You should've got up and said
website
your
on
3
it or
minutes worth.
Well,
I didn't know if that was in order or not,
Yeah.
since I wasn't a resident of the county.
Yeah.
I'm a rule follower.
No, we don't wanna do
Yeah.
that. We wanna stay to the rules.
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming and seeing us, and you speaking with our citizens.
See y'all later.
But one thing for certain, this time next year, we're gonna have a new senator.
Yep.
What
We're gonna
county,
have a
what
new
county you from?
I'm from Marion County,
Marion.
Lebanon, yeah, lived there my whole life, still live on a family farm there, so, have a small pharmacy in Springfield. Yeah, reach out.
Alright, thank you.
All right, we'll see you, thanks, Ben. We're getting ready to go into executive session, and I want to, I don't know if Lawrence in the restroom.
I think he's done with back there.
Okay, all right, we're getting ready to go in executive session, and I want to tell the audience that they can go out front, in front of in Julie's office, there's chairs there, and then we'll return to open session after that. So, I'll make a motion to go into executive session as per KRS 61-810, letter F, discussion of the hearings might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee.
And C.
And C, okay,
Yep.
potential litigation. All right, and C, discussion proposed pending litigation against or on behalf of a public agency.
Second.
All right, motion by myself, seconded by Zach. This is neither debatable nor amendable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. You can go back there, or you can sit in your car.
Wave or something, I'll watch for my picture.
Okay. Or Robert, I guess you can sit with Andrew and y'all tell jokes. But, Todd, I'll need you to go